I always believed our marriage was unbreakable. We were the quintessential power couple, both climbing the corporate ladder, sharing dreams, and supporting each other's ambitions. Our colleagues often envied our partnership, both personal and professional. But cracks began to appear. Late nights at the office became more frequent for her. She'd return home with vague explanations and a distant look in her eyes. Our conversations, once filled with laughter and shared plans, turned into monosyllabic exchanges. I tried to dismiss my suspicions. Maybe it was just work stress. After all, we were both vying for the same promotion, a significant leap that would solidify our positions in the company. Then came the whispers. I overheard colleagues mentioning her growing closeness with a new hire, a man named Daniel. He was charming, yes, but lacked the experience and dedication that we prided ourselves on. Rumors suggested their relationship extended beyond professional boundaries. I confronted her one evening, trying to mask my jealousy with concern. She laughed it off, accusing me of being paranoid. But the seed of doubt had been planted. Determined to uncover the truth, I started observing them at work. Their interactions were subtle, shared glances, inside jokes, and occasional touches that lingered a moment too long. It was evident to anyone paying attention. The final blow came during a company event. The promotion was announced, and it wasn't me. Daniel had been chosen. The room erupted in applause, but I stood frozen, betrayal coursing through me. Later that night, I found a draft of her resignation letter on our shared computer. It was addressed to Daniel, expressing her desire to start anew, both professionally and personally. She had chosen him over me. The days following the promotion announcement were a blur. I found myself going through the motions at work, my mind clouded with betrayal and confusion. The office, once a place of ambition and camaraderie, now felt like a battleground. I couldn't escape the whispers and sideways glances. Colleagues who once respected me now seemed to pity me. The news of my wife's affair with Daniel had spread like wildfire, and I was at the center of the scandal. Determined to find clarity, I hired a private investigator. Within days, he provided undeniable evidence: photographs, messages, and accounts of their rendezvous. Each piece of evidence was a dagger to my heart, confirming the betrayal I had hoped was just a misunderstanding. At home, the distance between us grew. Our conversations were strained, filled with unspoken accusations and forced pleasantries. The warmth that once defined our relationship had been replaced by a cold, uncomfortable silence. One evening, I confronted her with the evidence. She didn't deny it. Instead, she justified her actions, claiming that Daniel understood her in ways I never could. Her words stung, painting me as the villain in our story. The betrayal wasn't just personal, it was professional. Daniel's promotion meant he was now my superior. Tasks I once led were reassigned, and decisions I used to make were now his. The power dynamics had shifted, and I was left navigating a workplace that no longer valued me. The final straw came during a team meeting. Daniel presented a project I had initiated, taking full credit without acknowledging my contributions. The room applauded, and I sat there, invisible. That night, I drafted my resignation letter. It wasn't just a notice of departure. It was a detailed account of the events that had transpired, the betrayal, and the toxic environment that had ensued. I poured my heart into that letter, ensuring that the truth would be known. The morning sun filtered through the blinds as I sat at my desk, the resignation letter open before me. Each word was a cathartic release, a testament to the betrayal and disillusionment I'd endured. I addressed it to the board, detailing not just my departure but the reasons behind it. I chronicled the professional sabotage, the unethical promotion of an unqualified individual, and the personal betrayal that had unfolded within the company's walls. I didn't name names, but the implications were clear. The letter was both a resignation and a mirror held up to the organization's failings. Vogue. +1. Brides. +1. After sending it, I felt a weight lift off my shoulders. The truth was out, and I was free from the toxic environment that had consumed me. The company's response was swift. An internal investigation was launched, and whispers of misconduct spread rapidly. My wife and her lover found themselves under scrutiny, their actions no longer hidden behind closed doors. Colleagues reached out, expressing shock and support. Some shared their own grievances, revealing a culture of favoritism and negligence that had festered for years. Amidst the chaos, I began to rediscover myself. Freed from the confines of a toxic marriage and workplace, I pursued passions long neglected. I traveled, reconnected with old friends, and even started my own consultancy, helping startups build ethical and inclusive cultures. One evening, I received a message from a former colleague, inviting me to speak at a leadership conference. They wanted me to share my story, to inspire others to stand up against injustice. As I prepared my speech, I reflected on the journey that had brought me here. The pain, the betrayal, the loss, they had all been catalysts for growth and transformation. I realized that sometimes, the end of one chapter is merely the beginning of another, filled with promise and purpose. The morning after submitting my resignation, I awoke to a sense of liberation I hadn't felt in years. The weight of betrayal, office politics, and emotional turmoil had lifted, replaced by a newfound clarity. News of my resignation letter spread rapidly through the company. Colleagues reached out, expressing shock, support, and in some cases, sharing their own grievances about the toxic environment that had festered unnoticed. The internal investigation that ensued led to significant changes. Daniel was demoted, and my wife's reputation suffered irreparable damage. Amidst the upheaval, I found solace in unexpected places. An old friend, Elena, reconnected with me after reading about the situation. Our conversations, initially casual, soon delved into deeper territories, shared dreams, past regrets, and the possibility of new beginnings. Elena's presence was a balm to my wounded soul. Her understanding, patience, and unwavering support helped me navigate the complexities of healing. With her encouragement, I embarked on a journey of self-discovery, exploring passions long suppressed and embracing opportunities one had once deemed unattainable. One evening, as we watched the sunset from a hill overlooking the city, Elena turned to me and said, "Sometimes the universe breaks us apart to rebuild us stronger." Her words resonated deeply, encapsulating the transformation I had undergone. In the months that followed, I established my own consultancy firm, focusing on ethical leadership and organizational integrity. The venture thrived, attracting clients who valued transparency and genuine growth. Professionally and personally, I was finally in a place of fulfillment. My wife reached out once, seeking closure. Our conversation was brief but necessary. We acknowledged the pain, the mistakes, and the lessons learned. There was no animosity, only a mutual understanding that our paths had diverged irreversibly. As I stood before a group of aspiring leaders at a seminar, sharing my journey, I realized that my story was no longer one of betrayal but of resilience. The scars remained, but they were reminders of battles fought and overcome. Looking into Elena's eyes that evening, I whispered, "Thank you for helping me find my way back." She smiled, replying, "You never truly lost your way, you just needed to remember who you were."